everybody, my name is Hannah and this is Pepper and Pine, and today I have 3 really refreshing smoothies to share with you. One with lemon, the other with watermelon, and one with celery, which is great for a morning drink before you have breakfast. Alright, so let's start with the celery first. I highly encourage you to use organic celery for this recipe. You can find the exact recipes for all 3 smoothies down in the description box below. Now you can use 1 head of celery or you can use 2. If you're going to be having this in the morning before you have breakfast, 1 will be fine. If you use it as a meal replacement, I would say do 2 heads of celery. Alright, so I'm going to wash my celery in this bowl of water. I'm also going to reserve this water so that I can water the plants with it. I just think it's a really environmentally friendly way to reuse the resources that we have. We're in Southern California and water conservation is top on my priority list. Alright, so now it's time to juice that celery. I am using a really old juicer, but it still works great. If you're in the market for a juicer, I highly recommend one of the newer versions where it really gets a lot of the juice out of the pulp and you're left with kind of a dry pulp. Alright, so I go ahead and mix the celery juice just a little bit because it starts to separate with the solids and the liquids towards the bottom. And then I'm going to reserve that pulp and I'm going to compost it later. If you know any great recipes for that, let me know. Okay, so the next smoothie is going to be really refreshing. We're going to start out with 2 lemons and I'm just going to juice them using a fork. I do have a small juicer, you can use that, or you can even use one of those handheld ones that fits over a cup. Just using this because it's pretty simple and really fast. I'm going to juice it thoroughly, including some of the pulp that's in there. If you prefer not to have that, you can strain it out, but I actually don't mind it and I feel like it adds a little bit of tanginess to our smoothie. I also reserved a slice here that I'm just going to cut in half, and this is just to garnish the cup when we're done, but that's totally optional. You do want to get the seeds out, and I'm just going to take a couple of seconds here to remove those seeds, but try to keep as much of the pulp in as possible. And again, I'm going to save those peels for my compost bin. Next, I'm going to fill up my canister for my nutribullet with crushed ice. I am also going to fill it up with water as well till it nearly covers the ice. And then to this, I want to add all of the juice from those 2 lemons. And we're going to be using our nutribullet to blend this, but you can use any other kind of blender you have. I'm also going to sweeten this with some stevia extract, just 2 little spoons of this for about 2.5 cups. This goes a long way, so don't over sweeten it. And you can always use honey or any other kind of sweetener that you like. You can also leave it without sweetener. I found that the stevia works really well with citrus flavors and citrus desserts, and so I like adding just a little bit of that. So now we want to blend it thoroughly. You want to make sure you have enough liquid in there when you're blending it with ice, and you can see that it comes out just perfectly, kind of like a slushy or an icy. It's just really refreshing. Alright, so we want to transfer this to our cup. Be careful because there's a lot of liquid in there as well as that slushy ice. And then to garnish it, we're just going to add that little lemon slice. Alright, so let's move on to the last smoothie. This is one of my favorite summertime smoothies. We're going to be using some fresh watermelon. Now, if your watermelon is already chilled, you don't need to add ice, but if you want it especially cold, I suggest adding ice. Now we're going to add some maca powder to this. Now this is going to severely change the flavor of your watermelon smoothie, but once I started doing this, I was so enjoying that more earthy flavor to my watermelon smoothie. I never went back to just having a plain watermelon smoothie. It has a really earthy, rooty flavor, but maca powder is so healthy for you. You can find out more information down in the description box of how amazing this root vegetable is. So we went ahead and we blended that really smooth. It's not going to be slushy like the lemon one because we didn't add so much ice to this. You can add as much as you want. Again, we're going to garnish it with our watermelon slice. And that's it. Those are 3 really refreshing smoothies that you can enjoy any time of year, but I especially like these during the warm summer months. The celery juice is one that has especially good health benefits if you have it on an empty stomach first thing in the morning. The lemon one is especially refreshing and the watermelon one is especially hydrating and nourishing. If you'd like to see some of my other cooking tutorials, you can tap on the screen right now. For the full recipe for these 3 smoothies, you can check the description box below. If you want to see more pictures, you can find them on my website at pepperandpine.com. And don't forget that if you want to see what we're up to on a daily basis, you can find me on Instagram at pepperandpine.